Donna, Kelsey, Derek, Lorne.
Remember in school when you would look at the one kid funny because he couldn't hold a conversation or have a different routine of doing things? I do, and I knew a few of them during high school, and it took me a while to realize that they were just like my brother. They had autism. Did you know that 1 in every 110 kids is diagnosed with a type of autism spectrum disorder? Well, it's true. People need to be informed on this increasing disability because it's more and more apparent. Many people have come in contact with a person with autism, but many probably do not know what autism is or the different versions of it. Due to the growing number of children being diagnosed, we need to have a better understanding of what autism is and know the potential signs of it in children. What is autism exactly? According to Peter Bell, who is the executive president of a program called Autism Speaks, he states that autism is a general term used to describe a group of complex developmental brain disorders known as pervasive developmental disorders. Bell also continues to state that there are other types of disorders, and they are known as Asperger's syndrome, Rett syndrome, and childhood disintegrative disorder. 1 in 110 American children is somewhere on the autism spectrum. Research shows that this is 3 or 4 more times common in boys than in girls. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates 1 in 54 boys and 1 in 252 girls has autism. The prevalence of a form of autism in 8-year-olds increased in 2006 by 57%. This is a dramatic increase, but is due to more and more information being discovered about autism and people having a better understanding of the signs of it in their children. How common autism is becoming has worried many people and has brought about an urgent public health concern. There is no one-set cure for autism. People are constantly researching this disorder and trying to solve what exactly causes it. They believe that it may be caused by genetic problems. These problems can result in making the child more susceptible to getting autism, and others can take part when the brain is developing and cause it. These genetic problems could be inherited by parents or other family members, or just happen just randomly. Your family could have never had a person with autism, but your child still might be born with it with how high the occurrence is. Environmental factors also take a toll on genetic development. They believe this can cause some of the genetic problems. There are also rumors that vaccine can cause autism, although there's no substantial proof of that. In order to tell her child's parents that he or she has autism, we have to understand the signs of autism in children. Autism affects the child's way of viewing the world and interacting with others. There are many signs that help professionals diagnose this disease. These symptoms may be milder, which is typically Asperger's syndrome, or more severe, which would be severe autism. Typically in severe autism, the child is unable to speak or barely interact with people. The symptoms are usually seen in social skills, language, and behavior. Almost every child with autism has unique behavior, but many children all have the same symptoms. When it comes to social skills, these children act like you're not there. They prefer to play alone and do not respond when you say their name or try talking to them. Also, they have a hard time understanding other people's feelings and do not like being touched, hugged, or cuddled. You can often observe these signs easily with a child by putting them in a room full of other children or trying to interact with them. A slow development in language is an early sign of autism too. Many children do not start talking until after they are 2 years old. They have a hard time putting sentences together and struggle to start or continue conversation. They also might hear a word repeated over and over again, but have no idea what the word means or how to use it in context. It is also common that children use a robot-like or singing voice when they are talking. Once these children get older, they are hard to hold a conversation with. Often they get words mixed up or confused on the questions you're asking. Most of the time I ask my brother what's up, he'll say fine. Or if I ask him how are you, he'll say not much. This is just an example, and not all children have this confusion. Behavior is another part in deciding whether a child has autism or not. Children with autism are sensitive to light, sound, touch, etc. They also have specific routines and become upset when the routines get disturbed. Growing up with my brother, every day of the week we ate a certain thing for dinner. For example, on Thursdays we ate tacos and Fridays we always had pizza. My brother decided what we ate on what day. This routine was what he liked and wanted. He also often would cover his ears if things were a little loud that normally wouldn't bother me or my brothers. Often when these children get mad, angry, or frustrated, they go from being perfectly happy to very out of control. They typically start flapping their hands, yelling or screaming, and being violent to themselves or others. Many times we would not understand what set my brother off, but it was well known when something happened. Every autistic child has something they're very fond of and enjoy doing. My brother has always liked school buses, trains, and drawing. He is very artistic and draws wonderful cartoons that look like the real thing. He is also very good with dates. If you tell him how old you are, he can tell you exactly what year you were born without even thinking about it. Another autistic kid I went to school with has a very good memory with driving. His parents could drive him out to the middle of nowhere taking a bunch of turns, and he could tell you how to get back turn by turn. It depends on the severity of the autism to decide what type of therapy the child will need. My brother was in special education and had a helper in each of his classes to help him understand what was going on in his classes. Other children need hours of therapy a day to help them develop intellectually. I worked as a therapist for autistic kids, and it was the first time I'd seen that type of therapy done. But it is hard work and very stressful on the kids if they can't understand something or struggle to complete the exercises. Without all the therapy in school and help in school, many of these kids would never develop. In conclusion, with all of these signs, it is typically easy to diagnose a child with autism. Years and years of studying children and observation has led professionals to these signs and symptoms and is giving them a better understanding of what autism is. Now go back, and if you have spent time with a child with autism, do you recognize any of these signs? Do you see now the disability and their inability to interact with people? Growing up with my brother having autism, I still don't feel like I could tell if a child has autism or just a different disability. With the constant increase of autism in children everywhere, there needs to be a better understanding of what to look for in children so that these children can receive the help they need to develop.